O'Malley is training with Demetrious. Wow. I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known that before I read that it happened. I wish I would have known that in time to get my cameras together and get a plane ticket and get out there to document that. That's very interesting to me. I have one regret in my time when it's coming up, Team Quest. And I'm going to have to rely on you hardcore fans to even remember Team Quest because we dismantled such a long time ago, 2010-ish. 2008 to 2010. I mean, there was even lawsuits and there was this thing, but I just share for you, we lost a coach. I mean, and that he passed away. Like the team is just, we lost teammates. Evan Tanner, just for example. But I'm just sharing, like, when you talk about a team being gone, there's no way for us to re-huddle up. Everybody's careers is now over. We would have nothing to huddle up about. And some of us have even died. Others have sued one another. Most have moved away. I mean, we used to meet, Team Quest, we used to meet in a very unfitting part of town. Like, if anywhere you wanted to set up shop and make everybody come every single day, it wasn't this place. It's just one of the things that made it so great. The people that were there wanted to be there. And I loved it. And I love my time and I love my memories. And I have one regret, which is the world was different. We didn't all have cameras. We didn't have, I got my iPhone in 2009. I was a little bit late. I think they came out around 2007. If I'm wrong, 2006. But I'm just sharing for you, like, some of you grew up with these. We didn't all used to have these. Having a camera was actually quite a difficult thing. They were big. They went on your shoulder. You put it on your shoulder, and it's pretty heavy. So, if you ever got tired and you wanted to put it down, there's something called a tripod. And then you got to move it. You got to have it off. But then what you're filming could be across the room, so you're not going to have any sound. With an iPhone, not only do you get to capture video, you get right up there to capture the video. Well, now that helps, and you can get the sound. But we didn't have any of those things. So, my point on my regret is that I don't have any documentation of Team Quest. And we had the guys come through there, man. Tim Sylvia, Rico Rodriguez, these guys heavyweight champions of the world. Josh Barnett stopped in, Boss Rutan, Don Fry, the Colossus, James Thompson. I mean, I could go on. BJ Penn. I could go on and on. It was great. It was incredible. At some point, so many guys came through there, and you couldn't put a pay-per-view together on certain days. You couldn't put a pay-per-view together with as many stars as we had right there. Dan was the Pride champion, double. If I remember right, he was double. Didn't Dan have an 85 and a 205 in Pride? Evan Tanner was the UFC champion. Randy Couture was the two-division UFC champion. He'd wanted a light heavyweight and a heavy at the point of the story. And none of them were ranked number one. They had all the belts. Matt Lindland was ranked number one. And while Matt Lindland was ranked for number one, he wasn't the number one contender. The one fighting for the number one contendership is the one with the bout agreement. That was Nate Quarry. These guys were all in the room, rotating. Okay, Nate Quarry, you're now fighting Randy. Okay, Randy, you're now fighting Evan Tanner. Okay, Dan Henderson, you and Matt Lindland. And 5 minutes later, there's a bell, and you switch. And I don't have it on tape. I can't prove it. I would love to be able to play for a video for you right now, and then as I'm like speaking over it or explaining what it was, and there's so many things that you would enjoy. And not all wonderful. I mean, like, as much name dropping as I just did for you hardcore fans like me, that didn't mean we were all that good at all times. Like, there's things, if you could go back and watch us now, you go, that was working back, that was winning world titles back then. But I think that's part of what you would appreciate. The evolution and the adaptation within the sport as a whole. I think it's one of the things that you would really appreciate if I could just get some video or get some documentation of back then. But I feel like this is happening right now. We are never going to get O'Malley and Demetrious to the cage. It will literally not happen. But you are talking about a super fight for the ages. You're talking about the greatest 25-pounder against the most famous 35-pounder. Now O'Malley still has a chance to also be the greatest. Like, that potential is still, I'm just speaking about for right now. He is the most famous ever versus the greatest ever. That's fun. They get in there, they start trading ideas back and forth. It's a very fascinating thing. I recently shared a practice room. Robert Whitaker was in charge of the room. We handed the power over to Robert, and he took it, and he did such a good job. Oh, my goodness. Robert Whitaker as a coach. You should have seen it. You should. If Robert made a sound, Colby was hearing it. If Robert made a movement, I'm watching it. Clayton is taking it in. Every fighter, like Robert Whitaker, literally ran the best martial arts practice that I have ever seen. But that's fascinating stuff. That's very fascinating stuff when those types of things happen, at least for me. I was on vacation one time. Coach Daryl Christian invites me to come in. So I go into a gym and I watch a private workout with Juan Archuleta, TJ Dillashaw, and Brian Ortega. Now, in the room was Uriel Rodriguez, but he was on the other side doing a workout. He wasn't in this rotation. And I know what you're wondering. How did it go? Who won? Well, I'm sorry, I can't. It's just the way it works. I can't say anything. I can tell you all those fights I saw back in the Team Quest days. You've, I'm sure, wondered what would happen Boss Rutan versus Randy Couture. I'm sure that you would wonder. 4 people saw it. I was one of them. You will never find out. I'm sorry. That's just the way that it works. But that doesn't mean you can't still capture moments. And some of them that I saw was Demetrious learning from Coach Tim Welch, which is exactly what Demetrious should be doing. If he is the guest in Tim Welch's room, no matter how many titles Demetrious has won, he needs to humble himself and be learning from the master of that room, which is what he did. But I appreciate that stuff. I appreciate those stories. And I do hope some more footage of this slips out. Jon Jones has footage of him going with, but Gordon Ryan. And going with Gable Steveson. And Jon probably even captured some footage of Gable Steveson going with Gordon Ryan. But these are matches that you can't get. I would be beyond curious to know what a role with Gordon and Gable look like. And it would also be a very good predication as to what's going to happen when Craig Jones and Gable go at it in August. But it's one of these things, right? The guys in the spot, like Demetrious, for example, doesn't know how fascinating that would be. Demetrious would make us a video if we asked him to, but he would never think to do it on his own, never thinking that you, the audience, would find this to be interesting. So maybe I'll get an invite. Maybe one of these guys will see this video. I will get on a plane, I will fly out there, and I will document Demetrious and O'Malley if I'm given the chance.